I'm super annoyed, I'm in a really bad mood, and I didn't want to talk about this, but I have no other choice right now. I think I have to talk about the Nirvana situation, okay? I recently already talked about the Nirvana situation when they reunited for the Fire event or whatever. And by Fire event, I mean the benefit concert for the fire victims in Los Angeles, and Nirvana got back together with a couple different singers, and I came onto this channel and was very pleasantly surprised by it. But they just reunited again, and I absolutely hated it. And today I gotta talk about the Nirvana, Post Malone, Travis Barker situation. I really don't want to, but here we are, and it's gonna happen right after I say, hey, hi, hello, my name is Dan Frampton, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm a real big fan of people that like and subscribe, and if you comment within the first 3 hours, I will reply, and that's just a Frampton guarantee. This is my third video today. We are absolutely hustling. We have a video up on this channel, a stream clip from yesterday, then a video up on the Slop channel, then this video. I uploaded an Instagram reel last night that is doing the rounds today. But before we talk about Nirvana, I'm gonna talk about my new comic book because this video is brought to you by it. It's called Pit Pros. It's available for free down there in the description. Okay, let's talk about Nirvana. So, as some of you may know, Nirvana is a very popular band from the 90s that played grunge music, and the passing of their vocalist, Kurt Cobain, is seen as one of the most tragic events in rock and roll history. None of that really needs to be reiterated at all. They haven't done too many reunions ever since that happened. There was like a Hall of Fame celebration, an induction, or whatever, the benefit show for the fire victims, and we saw singers like Joan Jett, Kim Gordon, and St. Vincent step into the worn-out Converse of Kurt Cobain and sing some of his songs. And because it was for a benefit show, it was all very wholesome and very cool. But now for the one that you see pulled up on screen here, it is not for a benefit show. It is for a 50-year celebration of Saturday Night Live. And if that didn't sound corny enough for you, do you know who's singing this time? Post Malone. T1 trillionaire himself, Posty. You know, the guy that hip-hop rejected. You know, the guy that country is about to widely reject. But now, Post Malone is gonna latch on to Nirvana, I guess. This is awful. And I want with all of my heart to think it's sick, and I went into it with an open mind. But unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to do a little bit of a reaction here to it, because not only are they playing their most popular song, Smells Like Teen Spirit, but they're doing it on Saturday Night Live, which is on NBC, which is on Peacock. This is behind so many layers of copyright that me even having a still of the image up here is sending shivers down my spine. But you got Post Malone out here in his new kind of hick persona. He's got his trucker hat with the triangle beak curve, rocking the Les Paul, the blue jeans and the tucked in shirt, looking really blue collar, looking really working class over there, Post Malone. You're really fooling me. You got that like classic Merle Haggard guitar strap. Absolutely pathetic. And later on in the performance, he turns the hat to the side so everyone knows that he's a hip, cool hip-hop guy at heart. Everything about this is so cringe, just on the surface. Then, when you listen to it, the guy can't sing the song. There's so much vocal processing on it that it makes my stomach turn. It is an absolute embarrassment to the legacy of Nirvana. And everybody down here in this thread is being pretty rude to it, and I can understand why. It is awful. And then as this thing is playing, you're seeing the faces of Pat Smear, looking so smug, looking so rock star. This is the guy from the Germs, okay? And here he is on Saturday Night Live looking like the smarmiest little rock cock in the entire world. I hate it with every inch of my blood. I want to think that Chris Novoselic out here, rocking the George Costanza haircut, playing the bass down to his knees, well into his 50s is sick, but I don't. This is so whack, this is so lame. Get this librarian back to the library. And then don't get me started on Dave Grohl. This guy is so infuriating, insufferable throughout this entire performance. And he's just sitting there soaking it in, being like, ah, yes, Nirvana. Thank you, Kurt Cobain, for having all the charisma in the world. Thank you, Kurt Cobain, for laying down the groundwork, for turning me into a rock star. Without you, Kurt Cobain, I wouldn't be here. And here I am, 30 years later, playing these songs with Post Malone out here, pretending to be you in the worst cosplay ever. And I'm just gonna look so smug and smarmy and above it all over here. The conceit, the absolute pretension that I'm whiffing off of this image over here is astounding. This is not the image of Nirvana. This is not the ethos of Nirvana. If Kurt Cobain got this opportunity to play SNL, he would probably have done something controversial, like play the song Rape Me. But nah, Saturday Night Live, 50-year anniversary. Absolutely so corny. Kurt Cobain, with the world's eyes on him, would have done something so sick in this moment. But not these guys. No. They're just gonna roll around being like, we're rock stars and we're allowed to play Nirvana songs. But no, this just comes across like a cover band. And quite literally, I would rather go see a Nirvana cover band. Just pull up to a random dive bar somewhere. That's a much more pleasurable experience than whatever the hell this is. And this isn't even the first time Post Malone did this sort of cosplay. Remember during the pandemic when he did this live stream over here in the Moo with my hero and yours, Travis Barker? Yeah, I did a reaction to this and I was just as critical about this. This is so cringe. This is so bad. I hated everything about this. The Nirvana songs are one thing, but the Nirvana songs through the artist that made them is what makes them Nirvana songs, you know? And to have Post Malone out here in this moo with his Les Paul goddamn $5,000 guitar out here just drives me crazy. Absolutely hate it. But this isn't where the bad news ends, folks. It gets worse. It gets absolutely worse from here. I wish it didn't. I really wish it didn't. But just go over to the world's worst website in the world. The world's worst in the world. You got Barstool Sports over here, and they're quoting People. And it says, Post Malone is celebrating Record Store Day by paying tribute to Nirvana. God, no. Please, no. Please, next sentence be like, he's just gonna make a really nice heartfelt tweet or something, right? The Circle Singer, 29. Jesus Christ, he's only 29? He looks 105! What the fuck? Okay, the Circle Singer, 29. Whatever you say, Post Malone, 29-year-old. That means he was like 24 in this fucking image over here. That's insane to me. What the hell do you mean by that? Anyway, Post Malone, the Circle Singer 29, who's also the Record Store Day ambassador for 2025. Record Store Day ambassador? This just gets more trivial and more asinine the more we read. What do you mean ambassador? Record Store Day. Oh my god, so cringe. Is releasing a Nirvana tribute album packed with the songs he performed at his Salt Lake City home amid the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. No, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. And to think of Say It Ain't So, I would rather Post Malone cover a bunch of Weezer songs. That would be actually kind of funny. If you want to destroy my sweater, we would do. That's Cookie Monster. Anyway, the 14-track record, coming in April, will feature Travis Barker on the drums, bassist Brian Lee, and guitarist Nick Mack. Included on the track list are covers of Nirvana's Come As You Are, Lounge Act, On a Plane, and Heart-Shaped Box, among others. Now, what I'm not too clear on over here, is it just gonna be this live stream repackaged as a record, or did they go in and re-record it? Because it just says over here, the 14-track record coming in April will feature the songs he performed at his home. So is it the same songs, or is it the exact same songs? If it's the exact same songs, which I think it is, I think they're just repackaging this over here and calling it a Record Store Day record, which is insane. What do you mean ambassador? What the fuck is a Record Store Day ambassador? Is he gonna have a sash? Does he have to wear a top hat? What does that mean? Ambassador. Fucking goddamn. All this like asinine pomp and circumstance. It literally is the antithesis of Nirvana. But alright, do you, King. Have fun. And now I'm starting to really get scared. Like, It is getting worse and worse and worse, and when things are snowballing, the snowball typically continues to get bigger until it plows down an entire universe, right? So, if this ends up with Nirvana actually getting back together with Post Malone as the singer, I think that will be tremendously awful for the human race. That will be a forever stain on our legacy on this planet, spinning around this sun in space. But I guess that's where the Post Malone Nirvana situation is right now. Lord help me. If you want to put me into a better mood, it would be really great if you just went on over and read my new comic book, Pit Pros. It's free, link in the description. Alright, thank you so much for watching, goodbye, see you later, and have a good one.